Alrighty, g'day everyone and welcome. I hope everyone's well. Before we do begin, just draw your attention to our standard disclaimer that says everything is for educational purposes only. G'day everyone and welcome. I hope everyone's well. Before we do begin, just draw your attention. Sorry. Everything is for educational purposes only and you are responsible for your trading decisions. Hi there, Ben. So welcome everyone. Welcome anyone that is new. So let's jump in, folks. So welcome to Traders Workshop as well, folks. Day of the week where we get to expand on content that we don't normally get to expand on. So let's jump in. All right, so today, folks, I've got another... Okay, so today I've got another chart from Ben, this time dollar Thai baht. So we thought we may have a look at it last week, but we didn't get around to it. So let's go through this. So the idea, folks, with this is, and welcome anyone that obviously is new, welcome anyone from some of the other platforms. The idea of this is that members submit a chart and we go through it in order to identify what they're seeing, but also to provide other information that we can add on to enhance the analysis. So whole part of the learning. So let's jump in. And so this is a chart from Ben. Last week we did pound New Zealand, which pushed on nicely. So let's have a look at what Ben's got here. So we're looking at the daily chart here of dollar Thai baht. So we can see this. So let me zoom in a little bit and see what he sees. See what he's written here. So we've got the candlestick chart this time. So clearly we can see we've got the nice orderly downtrend here. Got our anchors actually here. So we're now back into uptrend. Pulling back in a very deep corrective. And notice here, here's the daily anchor right here. So it's broken here. So we're actually in a downtrend there. So zoom in a bit so we can see that. So then we've entered back, pushed back above. Here's the daily anchor on the downside. So now we're back trending above. So let's see what Ben's got here. So he's got his orders in, he's got a Dow theory entry, whether he's taken this one here or above here. Oh, sorry, there it is there. You can see he's got his entry there. So what Ben's looking to do is take a break above the swing and looking to push on into his 61 for his first target and then perhaps his second target there. He's got his stop there. So he's got his Dow theory entry, which is basically just our break above the existing high there. In a trending market, ideally would like to see a down bar touching the trend line. So you can see he's got his trend line here and he's got his accelerated trend line here. So he's hoping to see another bar through here and then push. So that simply we come back to an area of value, which then gives us an ABC inside a pattern. So obviously what he's looking for here, try and get an ABC through here and then take that as a continuation pattern for the order hit, but expecting positive news out of the US. Reversal of the trend line could find strong resistance. So I'm guessing this one above here. So he'd be watching there. Looking to secure profits in the green box. Hi there, Multi. 75% off here. Stop set 50% of the remaining profit. All right. So that's what he said. So let's have a look. Let's see if we can dig out any other information. So this is a daily chart. This will be a valid weekly swing. So I don't know what the retracement was down here, but I'm guessing 50% was about here. And we can clearly see that's paused and paused at this level here, which is probably a weekly swing. So we're through that, and I suggest that was probably the 61 there. So we'll have a look at my charts in a moment. and we'll see what we can see. So let's just dig into this daily chart and let's see what we're actually seeing. So we've got nice big outside bar here through this level. So that's what we want to see, nice amount of strength. We can see we've got the 8 period moving average here. So already in a very strong, environment here, strong trending environment, momentum. Here's his 20 period. These are just visual guides, folks. But you can clearly see we're already in a high momentum state, and judging by the look of this pair, you can see from previous it can continue in this state for a little while. So, okay, so I'm always conscious of when it does do that it can't continue that for ages. It then has to come back a little bit harder and correct a bit harder. So I'm wary of that in terms of trend legs. 1, 2, we're in the third trend leg, expecting maybe a push into here. So that's what we're seeing on the daily. A little, maybe slightly extended territory, as Ben has said, would have liked to have seen it come back a little bit harder. So let's see what he's got on his other charts as well. All right, so this is his 240. So we're now seeing the outside bar through here. So the 240 is actually showing. Let's have a look at just the 20 period moving average. We can see price is holding this beautifully, and we can see the pattern that we saw as just bars. We can actually see this, and Ben's identified it as the triangle, so nicely spotted. We can see the 3 waves in here. And ideally, look, triangle break above the high. You can do one of the initial swings as well as an entry, but he's clearly identified that. So nice big move here. Retracement back here. It looks like it's, around about 38 to sort of 40%. So shallow. We've got a nice move here that's taken this amount of time. Look at the time there, clearly corrective. And we've got a nice push out of that. Let's have a look at the low here. So we've actually got our IO pattern through here. Nice strong bullish engulfing a nice narrow range bar. Momentum through here. Now we've got the 3 white soldiers pattern here into the high. So maybe slightly extended into the high. So I wouldn't be surprised if we actually saw a little bit of a pullback in here and then a move out again. That's still okay. That's still valid. So that'll then end up like the quasi cut with handle. So let's have a look at what he's seeing. So he's drilled down again, I believe. Yep. All right, so we're into the 60-minute chart now by the looks of it. All right, so in terms of Elliott wave, all right, here's our pattern. All right, I won't go into the detail with that. The 3 major swings, it looks like 3 swings there. 3 major swings. 3 major swings and out. All right. So a lot of times triangles, 5 wave patterns with 3 sub waves in between. All right. But you got to dig deep to find them. C, D, and E. Okay. So when we find that, when we see that, we're looking for E to finish and move. And if E breaks through the low here, then it's no longer what we thought. Now look at the construction through here. We can clearly see that, in between these legs is clearly kind of corrective. But notice the move up into B is very, is nice and strong. Look at it into D. So I actually got a little V reversal in there as well. So on the right side of the moving averages, we're looking pretty good through there. We've got certainly strong momentum through here. So yeah, look, expecting maybe a little bit of a pullback and then it goes. But look, good entry, and his stop is all the way down here. So, even if we do get a bit of a swing through here, he's still kind of safe in that. So great analysis, Ben. I hope that's added a little bit to it. What else could we add to this? Not much. That was his trend line through there. So notice how well price has held that. Notice these points. All right, notice how well price has held that. All right, so then we've anchored it here. As soon as we get a break above this level here, this one here now is valid. Okay, so then we're looking for when price pulls back to this one. You can clearly see the move away from it is demonstrating that. All right, and look, for those of you that are, hi there Trader UK, for those of you that are interested, you got the flagpole here, we got our triangle through there to measure this in terms of targeting. All right, this is a tip. So take the height of it, maximum height of the pattern, and project that up simply 100%, and that will give you the target. Okay, so I've taken this height down to the maximum depth. All right, this is the most kind of conservative, and I've projected that straight up. All right. You can do your swings here. Now you'll know this bend out of E. All right, so this is maybe 1, 2, and you can look to project up from here. All right, so that will help cluster. You can do measured moves from here. All right, project that, see what you want to get. So that would obviously be A, B, and you're looking for C here to be AB leg by 1.618. Sorry, XA leg. There's X here by 1.618 to get into C. Okay, and then any multiple through there. All right, 161, 200, 261, and see where they cluster bend with your targets and this pattern target as well. Well, so you might find you get a couple of other little targets through there based on this most recent swing. All right. So there we go. All right, let's have a quick look. Let's have a quick look at the outcome, actually. I do remember this. Oops. Wasn't quite what I wanted. So I'll tie that. All right. So there's that pause that Ben saw. Now this was last week. I remember this clearly. This was last week. This is the pause that we had through here. He was hoping that it pulled back a little bit. So you can see that we got the 20 here. We got the short term here. So a little bit extended. We did have a little bit of a pullback. So let's have a look. Let's get rid of these. Clean the chart up a little bit, move that away. So you can clearly see here, look, I've got the triangle drawn in as well. We had the pop. So there's that pullback after the 3 white soldiers. So we actually got that, look, there's the pullback. Notice here it's holding the 20 pretty well. Then we had another break, well, but real lack of projection. Another pop. So I think his stop was kind of down in this region. So look, it probably would have been safe barring, you know, a bit of a spread issue over the weekend. Otherwise, you know, if we were watching this and we saw the swing through here, failure to pop through here, you might have ended up taking a little bit of it out here and maybe a little bit more here and then hanging on to a, you know, a percentage of it. So it worked in the end. Right? Had a little bit of a splutter first, but it did actually then, you know, work in the end. So it did actually give that little pullback through here. Right? So it's kind of washed off a little bit of that extension. Right? So I'm always a little bit cautious. See here, washes it off. Always a little bit cautious of that. So there we go, folks. So good analysis, Ben. Well done. Spotted the patterns beautifully, and it's kind of getting on its way here as well. What else did I kind of put on my own chart? Okay, so I've actually got a bit of a cluster here. So this leg projected up 127, and then this down move here projected back up 161. So there's a cluster. So there's a cluster of targets. All right, so that is 36.77 region. All right. Let's see that move out of that triangle. Let's see how that's stacked up as well. Often when it pulls back and creates another setup, so often that triangle then is kind of, the target is kind of finished. All right, so here to here, projected up 200. No, there it is. And what is it? 36.74. All right, so I'm going to leave that on as well. Right there. So where is that on the on ours here? That's 7.6. Look at that. It's pretty close. Can't argue with that, can we? So those two there. 7.6, yep, 7.663. So let's just see how price behaves on this. Let's just use this as an exercise. See how price behaves as it tackles these ones. So those targets. So which one would I trust a little bit more? Probably these bigger swings. Okay. So there we go. Right, folks. Thank you, Ben, for submitting that. I hope that provides a little bit more insight into what you're seeing. Let's jump in, folks, to our regular stream. You're welcome, Ben. So tonight, actually, so in 40 minutes' time, we've got some Euro news here, so some CPIs, so just be mindful of that. Then 11:15 p.m. my time, so 4 hours, just under 4 hours, we've got the ADP non-employment change, so that can move the market. Thursday, look, we've got a little bit more, 1 a.m., so kind of 2 hours later, so a little bit of news. We've got Powell speaks, and then we've got the unemployment claims at 11:30 p.m. tomorrow night. So just be careful, a little bit of news coming. Then Friday, of course, we've got NFP and employment news here. So, we could get some fireworks here. So just be careful with your positions and just trade accordingly, folks. All right, so let's have a look at the markets. Let's go through the macro. So the S&P 500 pulling back. We were looking for this. So looking for a bit of a pullback. You can see we've got it. We actually got a bit of a gap down. So we actually got a gap down through here. The Dow, all right, same thing. We're looking for this to pull back. So we got that. NASDAQ, we're hoping this was going to give us something around this high. Right? No cigar, gaps down again. The VIX, as we said, it kicked up. So I was a bit concerned about that. So I was a bit concerned about that. So you can see that we're getting follow through with that. Dollar index is just milling around the high here. All right, so, we've got strength into this. So I would be expecting, after maybe a little bit of a pullback, maybe a cut with handle, that we'll continue that. Dollar index. All right, let's have a look at... So if you can hear me, but you're not getting, if you're getting a black screen, just refresh the page. All right. So I'll just show you on my charts a couple of those. So you can see on my charts, I've got the futures chart. And notice the pullback in here. Pullback right to the 20. And you can see it on the others, NASDAQ, the Dow. This is why I use the futures chart. Okay. Dollar index. So we tested the high there. Euro dollar. The euro dollar continuing down. We were looking for this to continue short. Through there. Right, I'd leave this alone now. This looks like it's just going to give back a little bit. Okay, gold and silver. Gold has had a nice big move. I'm looking for, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've actually got 5 waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here as well. So I'm actually looking for this to pull back a bit now. So is this good enough for some sort of corrective? All right. Some sort of reversal. Haven't got the separation here, unfortunately. So I would just be a little bit careful. Look, it could in time, absolutely. But I'm going to leave that out for the moment. Silver. Silver the same. Silver's actually a little better. All right, now silver, those of you that know, those of you that have been following for a while, all right, you can trade the 4 hour because it's got the extension on it. You can trade it back to the short-term moving average, okay? But you'll need to drop down. Those of you that have been with us for a while will know how to do this. So the target is going to be the 4 hour 8 EMA. See it here? So you need to drop down to the 60 minute and make sure we've got separation, which we have, between the 8 and the 20. But there's not a lot, all right? So just be careful of that. Then you can drop down the 15 and find your setup. All right, so we've already had a little pullback here. See this? The ABC. So your ideal entry was kind of back there. So look, if you get another shorter term one here, yes. But just be mindful that will be the target. All right, so it's not a lot in it. Look, it's only 10 pips. All right, so that's my concern. All right, they could keep pushing through to hit this one, hit the 8. All right. So instead of trading the daily 4 hour and 60 minute, we're trading the 4 hour, the 60 and the 15. It's the same principle, but just on a smaller time frame. So yes, I'll give the watch list out at the end, folks, for those that are know where to find it. All right, so let's have a quick look at the cryptos. Pulling back with the market, all right? There's not enough in this one to get their little snapback. However, Ethereum I've put on the list. We've got a nice push through here. So looking for this to snap back here. Now this is one that you can trade back up provided we get the correct signal. So notice the big climactic here. Notice we've got the nice big separation here between the moving averages on the 4 hour. They're only just moving averages. They're just visual guides, folks, but price respects them. See this? All right, so we're just looking for a push down into it like that, like it's done there. All right. So what do we need to see on this? We need to see price in this region. So then we drill down to the 60 minute. Right, and we want to see a setup. So you can clearly see now, look, prices hasn't been on the other side of the 20. See the pink 20 through there? Now it has. So if we can get a setup, so the 20 period will look like this. We've got nice shakeout through here. It's a pity that the 4 hours looking the way it is, because that would be ideal. We get a move up in here though, and then we get a nice little pullback in here. So the 8 will be looking like this as well. That would be the one to take, because what that does is get price into this region, which is above the 8 on the 4 hour. Why do we wait for that? Clearly price pulls into it and gets rejected, okay? Doesn't always, it can pop hard and then go. That's why we want to be seeing it in there to make sure that we're not just getting a test of it, and then nothing. Okay, now often, those of you that will know, we might get a push up, a couple of bars back, and then another move through. Then you can look for it in there, because what will happen is you just simply won't get a setup on the 60-minute. All right, so that is that's basically 5 workshops in a nutshell. All right, so Ethereum, you can go long. All right, so let me just switch for a moment. All right, so Wednesday, all right, risk on with caution. I'm going to go back to neutral to risk, excuse me, to neutral to risk on. Because of that little down move. It's still risk on. I'm still going to keep with 60 to 80% risk this week. So I'm just finishing going through the pairs as well, but I'm taking that risk stance because of the macro. So I just finish going. I'm just going to finish going through the pairs, folks. I'll show you what I'm seeing. New Zealand, there's nothing much here. It's too close. So this is how I do it when I go through. New Zealand CAD is not bad for the separation trade down the track. We're already getting what we want to see on the 4 hour. So that'll be probably tomorrow or next week. New Zealand Swiss. This is back up into this region here. This is okay. We've got this set up again though. All right, I'm going to leave that. Okay, New Zealand yen. We were looking for this to push a little bit harder through here. It kind of did here, but then, we're looking to see if we can get another setup. This has got a little deep now. So I would leave this alone. This looks like a base now. Oh, this is disappointing because it's in the right area on the weekly, so let's leave that alone. Singapore yen, though, is not bad. Look, A, B, C on the daily, pulling back. Oh, we've already broken this bar. Let's have a look at the 4 hour as well. All right, so we've got our valid trend line through here. In terms of the channel, look, we can't even make it down to the low. All right, so we've actually got a bit of a triangle. All right, where's our trend anchor points? It's one here. So that's the last swing in the trend. See it here? So we've got 2 lower highs, both sides. Look, there's 2 there. There's 2 here. So that's a valid swing. So look at price through it here, gap down. So now that that's done that, we got price acceptance here? Probably not. Look. Yes, we might have here, but then it's straight down. So I would now want to see this level as the new level, and I bet that lines up with something on the daily that's valid. Yeah, this swing here, so the daily high. All right, so I want to see price into this region and testing this in some way, shape or form to give me a setup. Not too concerned, but I'm mindful of this one. So ideally, either the little consolidation and a pop through here, or the break through that level and then the pullback, and then all the moving averages will be on side. All right? So Singapore yen is worthy of putting on the list for a long. All right, it's still long on the daily. Look, nice push and pullback, very similar to what we saw on some of the other charts. Singapore yen. Or dollar CAD. All right, remember this from yesterday, this pullback in here. All right, so now we're getting a test of this, and this was the setup on the daily. So this is not bad at all here. So we've got an A, B, C, a little bit funky. B is at the same height. So you need to just either take the breakout through here, which it's at, or wait for a pullback. So this is still valid. All right, so look, we had it on the list yesterday. See it here? So I'm going to continue to put that on, but I'm going to put it up into straight out longs. All right. So you can see a beautiful, so where's the 4-hour anchor? It's here. Beautiful push, right? Beautiful little P pattern. Look, right side of the moving average, got a rising 20 that this has bounced off. So look at the swings in between. Got a beautiful little consolidation pushed into the high. If you did take the breakout straight through there, stop needs to either be under this bar or under the swing. All right? You want to be targeting this area and then here. So I'd be taking, you know, one here, and then see if we can get a move through this whole structure. Failing that, this will be a key level, drill down. You can see the 60-minute beautiful little inverted head and shoulders against resistance. So look for, perhaps a single leg pullback. Take the entry through there. All right. So dollar CAD, looking pretty good. Dollar Swiss, nothing. Look, extended. It's already pushed out. We've already had a big run. You know, it's too far away. Not interested. Dollar Chinese yuan. Remember this? We were looking for a break through the high. Not interested otherwise, right? Because this could turn into just a look A, B, and into C. All right. So look, this is okay, but look, it's struggling. The only way now is going to be another swing through here. All right. So I'm happy to leave that, leave that on. A little bit, see the extension, it washes off the extension. My concern is, you know, we've got that big separation between short and long, medium-term momentum. Okay, dollar yen is okay as well. Okay, dollar yen is okay, but the only thing, once again, it's already had a big move. It's right into resistance, which is still okay. We're looking for the, you know, to break, but because of that, yeah, these kind of have a tendency to sort of pull back a bit harder and then go. So I'm happy to put it on under other analysis, but it would be a shorter term kind of opportunity. So the only area that I'm interested in is to see it get in around the high and either give us the consolidation, the break or the pop through, and then the pullback. So the breakout pullback or the push into it and consolidation before it breaks. All right. Dollar yen. So we were looking at that yesterday also. Dollar Norwegian, nothing. Dollar Swedish, yeah, it's just pausing. Dollar Singapore, yeah, look too close to the 200. Dollar Thai baht, we did. See how that plays out into those targets. And then back to that. All right, so what are some of the others I like? All right, let's go through these quickly. Aussie Swiss. Weekly is clear, it's sitting on resistance. So notice this push. So this consolidation here is exactly what I talk about, except on a bigger scale. See this? Look, one more and through. All right, so it's had a nice push. We've got an outside engulfing bar. So I just want to see this break. We spoke about this yesterday. All right, so we've got the push that we were looking for out of this big triangle as well. Excuse me. We've got these two levels layered though, very close together, and we can see we're getting a reaction at this. So my preference really now is going to be tackling this level. Nice momentum, that's what we wanted to see yesterday. This one here, if you took an early trade through there, yes, we do have the IO there, but really your stop needs to be kind of down here, allowing for that. My preference is always going to be, you know, a reasonable setup at or near the 20. But now, being so close, it's probably going to be, look, if we get maybe something like this, kind of flattens out here, and we get another little swing in there, that would be okay. 20 period, you know, then it will be sort of holding the 20, and that'll give you enough room, like a little bit of a base. Otherwise, my preference now is going to be tackle the high, same again, break, right, which will be something like this, but on a 60-minute chart, or the pop through and then the set up afterwards. All right. Aussie Swiss. Now Aussie Swiss might be a little immune to the US news. It does have Swiss on it though. Okay, Aussie Yen. So we've got the nice pullback on the daily. Weekly is okay. There's nothing really in its way. All right, so look, it's tested 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember we spoke about Gann's fourth touch test yesterday. Yesterday I think it was. So nice pullback on the day. Look, nice push. A, B, C. Then we just got a little consolidation through here. Notice here, look, here's the 20 period. Nice bullish engulfing here. So this is contextually a beautiful spot. All right, so we're looking for, like this here, we're looking for the, you know, when price sort of breaks above, and we've got the start of that, you know, early momentum. So there's the 20, here's the short term, the 8. So, you know, if this pushes, that's in the ideal contextual location on the daily, which is my trading time frame. Weekly is the higher time frame, this one. The 4 hour is the lower time frame looking for entries. Those of you that are wondering. All right, so let's have a look at what we see on the 4 hour. So same thing, we want to see price on the 4 hour into an ideal location. So here's the anchor, but we're actually still uptrending on the 4 hour. So we've got an uptrend. This is all ranging price action. Notice how nicely though we've come down, and then we've kind of based out, which is good. There's the 4 hour corrective trend anchor there. Notice it's tackled it once here on a gap down, back down, shakes everybody out, and now we're attempting it again. All right, so price into it, got an outside bar as well, so that's positive. But really, I would want to see price either consolidate through here. This sort of weakness, this is okay, but this would have liked to have seen this continue up and another couple of bars down. And then through, that would be ideal as well. So take the break above this as the level. Otherwise, you know, if it pops hard, we're going to have to wait for the pullback afterwards. Let's take the whole range. Put some tech levels. Look, 38 right there. Let's put our 40-60 box on for the way up. So be mindful of those levels as well. Look, it could even pop into one of those and give a setup at those levels as well. All right, so Aussie Yen, Euro Yen. So it seems to be the time for the yens. Weekly is good. Daily looks same. A, B, C. Beautiful pullback back to the 20. This is the importance, folks, of waiting especially if you're a swing trader, waiting for price to get back into an ideal area and when it starts to enter the move back out, because otherwise, look at trying to get long through here. It just doesn't, and even short in a corrective. Yes, look, there was a little couple of trades in there, but you can see really didn't go anywhere fast. So what we're trying to do is get on board when this momentum resumes. All right, so we've got our corrective channel through here. Same again, look, can't make it down to the lower one. We've got to bounce off the center line, which is good. Where's our anchor? Look, right here on the 4 hour, which is pretty good. All right, so we're above the, look, we're tackling the anchor here. Nice little pullback in there. So that was almost valid to take that straight off. So notice the look of the moving averages. Here's the short term. Here's the 20. All right, it's pretty good. So we're at the start of that early momentum, aren't we? So look, that was valid to take that. Stop under here. Failing that, look for something after. So this is ready to go, all right, in that area. All right, so euro yen. Just remember this euro news in $15 minutes. All right, so you might want to wait for that. If you can't wait, maybe just go smaller position. Just remember though, it's not financial advice, for education purposes only. So euro yen I like. Singapore yen we did. All right, what else we did? Ethereum. So British pound, short. So notice here, look, the weekly we've tagged the 200, can't get through. Drop back down with momentum down. If you want me to look at a market too, folks, we'll get a chance to have a look at maybe one or two. So big move down here below the moving averages, the daily chart. Here's the anchor. We've got price acceptance short. So looking for this just to pull back and drop. Yes, I'm aware that there's support through here, which I've marked out. Look. See it here? I want to see where that is. So I've got a nice big move through here. All right, so we've got a nice thrust bar. You know, there's our fair value gap through here. So it could come back up into this region and drop. That's what I'd be looking for. So some sort of A, B, C in there. Here's the 20. So to try and get an entry through here so I can test this low, a partial profit there, maybe another one there, and see if it can drop further. All right, but I want to see a good setup. Otherwise, this can risk turning into a V reversal. All right, if it does that, we just simply, there's no trade opportunity. All right, but if this pushes a bit higher, drops, this will be our level through here. You got to push into it, maybe another little push higher, and then down through it. That would be the entry right there. All right, so looking for this pullback to either play out and roll, or if it shows strength, it just doesn't give us a trade. All right, so a couple of others. Aussie CAD. Aussie CAD long. All right, so here's, now this is under other analysis. All right, in other words, they're not high probability for me, but they're worth looking at. Why is this not high probability? The weekly, look, is almost straight into the short-term moving average. All right? That's why. Potential stall, but it can push through even by 20 or 30 pips, could allow us to profit. Daily chart, test of support, outside bar. Look, got the short-term moving average, got the 20 here, so I got nice separation on the daily. So this is the separation trade, just looking for a push through here. All right, so yeah, maybe 20, 25 pips, but want to see a proper setup. So what that will mean is the price needs to get back above this moving average. And when you drill down to the 4 hour, you can see we've got a couple of obstacles here as well. We've got our trend line here. Look, it's tested it there. Look, we've got the nice little V reversal here. We're back above. We're testing the 4 hour anchor, but we've got, look, the 200 period moving average. Look, it's been respected here, respected here, respected here, then finally through. So I would expect that first test to probably respect. Got an outside bar here. I don't think I'd be taking this and then hoping to see what it does. I would maybe either, if we do get another couple of bars back, you know, maybe scale in there, but obviously looking maybe for a squeeze play along that moving average. Oh, we got a bit of a fair value gap in there. So we drill down to the 60 minute and look also the orange 200, right? So this could actually end up the squeeze play, right? Notice this. So if we get another squeeze into that 200, then that would be the only way that I would take that. Right? And it would be through that high. So it gets through the 200 and through that high. And then that would give you break above, right, the outside bar. Just remember, we've got an obstacle there. Look, 10 pips. Then we haven't got a lot of room in here, so we don't want this to spend a couple of days and then catch up to the short term. So you can see the problems with that one, but I thought I would just highlight that. Thought that would be a good example as well. Okay, pound Swiss, not too bad. Got weekly res up here. It's actually here as well. But got a nice steady state trend here. Got a nice push here. Got a flat corrective through here. All right, it's kind of got the outside bar here as well. Then we got, you know, just our triangle again happening. So the only way, once again, price into this region. See if I either get the break, pullback, or the push into it and the consolidation. All right. That's what I'm seeing with that. All right, now just a quick one for Ben, who's asked me to look at CAD Yen. So CAD Yen, weekly is okay. Nice big push. I did have a look at this, but I've overlooked this, and I'll show you why. Everything else is okay. It's kind of relatively clear. A little V reversal there, this one here. We've got the big push here though. So always these big pushes, and we've been speaking about this lately, often they will take a bit of time to correct. All right. So we get a move here, and then, you know, usually back a bit harder. A lot of times they'll give an early ABC. See it there? Sucker us in, and then it does the move down. All right. So I'm always cautious of those when it's had very early momentum and a climactic mode. In other words, this. So we've gone up hard, comes back, gives a little, you know, set up in here, and then it comes back and corrects a bit harder, and then it goes. All right. So naturally, I'm expecting from this to come down a little bit further. So you can see that pullback in here. Right, the move there was B. Right, so you might have gotten caught into that one. But you can see the overall look of kind of this here. It's kind of got a very, and I mean, look, CAD Yen normally is a good trender. But I would have expected, you know, certainly not a, you know, maybe not so deep. And certainly a push through by now. So that has me very sort of cautious with this, that we're going to end up with a bigger ABC like that, and then it goes. All right. So a lot of this stalling and carrying on, yeah, just has me concerned. So I'm going to put a mark here where I think this will go. I'm happy to be wrong if it gets above here. So you can see, look, very deep pullback here, you know, that's below the 20. That's my concern with this one. And it always comes, note, those of you that like those sort of pullbacks, note this big structure here is not normal trending environment. It's climactic. We want to see smoother. See, here we go. So see how it's washed that off? The big, and this is not quite climactic, but notice how long it's taken to wash it off, and it's tagged the 20 twice, and then it goes. So those climactic moves always, often there's a single leg. There's not really many others. Right, so you prefer to see it. Look, nice steady state trend. Look at the railway tracks. Notice getting a little bit too extended. There's not really examples of what we're looking at. There's maybe a bearish one. Look, there's another one. But these have corrected. They haven't kind of. There's another one. Look, it's deeper. But imagine if we cut this out. See the bigger corrective, and then it goes. That's a bit deep. Chop that out maybe. Maybe that. And then see it move from there. Come up with our own price action. So there we go. All right, big session, folks. Hope you enjoyed the workshop, the analysis. Apologies if it's a little too deep for you. A lot of our viewers are intermediate to a little bit more advanced stage. So look out for the watch list. Those of you that know where to find it. Trade safe. Just remember, we've got that news coming up. So you might want to just sit it out until that's passed. And let's see what we get, folks. All right. Thanks for your company, folks. Take care. Trade safe. And we'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.